I love anything fitness because it just makes life better. When you feel good, you know, your mind is different, your head thoughts are clearer. And one of the things I know a lot of us deal with, whether it's because of the cold weather that you're dealing with right now, or it's, you know, something that maybe it did do a little too much shoveling of the snow and you took a little bit of a, you know, you're back, well, you know the situation. Oh, maybe it's that time of the month. You just want to take a break and relax and just really let the soothing heat do its magic. Well, we have the product for you, and I know many of you have already purchased this recently. We're in our final quantities for the season on this extra large heating pad from Pure Enrichment. I mean, there's nothing quite like it. If you've seen the heating pads in the drugstores and they're like this big. I mean, they're really tiny and they're pretty crunchy almost. And they don't give you all the extras that this one does. I'm gonna introduce you to Megan Clementi, who can go through some of those extras, because to me, that's what it's all about.
I love this thing.
Good to see you. I'm glad there's a few left.
Please come
for our
snuggle. So this is our Pure Enrichment Double XL. And when I say Double XL, it's because this is what your standard heating pad looks like.
There it is.
And this is what we are gonna give you. Basically 2 to 3 times the size. So you are gonna get this beautiful micro plush, so soft, heats up to 140 degrees temperature. You're gonna be able to wrap yourself around this. You're gonna feel like it's more like a blanket than it is a heating pad. But just look at this. If you're having pain in your arm, you are gonna literally wrap it around yourself and make sure that heat is super close to you. If you're having pain on your back, this is gonna cover your entire back, whether you're 5 foot or 6 foot, because my husband's 6'2" and it covers his entire back. If you're having any issues with your legs, you're gonna be able to wrap your leg. I mean, this is my calf, my knee, and my thigh. So we're talking about extreme length and size. This is 20 inches by 24 inches. You're gonna be able to use it as is. You can use it with moist heat. You can machine wash it. You can tumble it dry for 5 minutes to help it actually dry. And it is beautiful. So when you're not utilizing it, you're probably gonna leave it over your seat or your couch, and it's gonna be ready. So when you sit down after a long day, whether you've been shopping or you've been working, whether you came home from vacation and you just are exhausted, you're gonna say, oh, my Pure Enrichment heating pad is already here, and you're gonna turn it on, and within moments, InstaHeat technology is gonna take over, and you're gonna start to feel the relief.
And aren't there 6 different levels of heat?
It does. It has 6 different levels of heat. What you're gonna do is you're literally just gonna turn it on, and then you're gonna move up or down. You can see there's a little light right there, so even if the lights are off, you're gonna very easily be able to see on that display whether you're on the 1st level all the way up to the 6th level. Then over here we have an auto on. Automatically you're gonna see 24 hours. If you push that again, it's gonna say, not 24 hours, it says 2 hours. If you push it again, it'll say stay on. What this means is it will automatically shut off after 2 hours for a safety component. But if you wanna leave it on longer, maybe you know you're gonna watch a 2.5 hour movie, you can push this one time and it'll say stay on, and then it won't shut off.
I tell you what, I mean, just for me, and we were just talking about our backs and the strength that we need to, you know, for our core, just to lay back on a heating pad and let those muscles just kind of like,
relax.
It's like they're sighing. You can almost feel them just, and not to mention all the tightness that we feel in our tendons and our, you know, the discs in our back and our spine. We put our body through so much, especially I think during the hard, cold months of the winter. And I think this is just the biggest treat. You're gonna love it. I've got it on my legs right now. You know what it feels like? It's like it's warming up my bone marrow.
Well,
it feels so good.
It gets so warm. Again, if you have something like the past, I want you guys to see this. When I put it, it's hard to balance because it's just flat like a table. But look at the difference, how the Pure Enrichment heating pad folds over my body versus my old crunchy one. This one, I have to push onto my skin to make it touch my skin. This Double XL wraps around my body, allowing the heat to stay in so that I can actually reap the benefit. When you have that heat on you, what it's gonna do is it's gonna increase the blood flow in your body. That blood flow is gonna send nutrients and it's gonna send oxygen to your body so that you can either start the healing process or you can feel really relaxed. So we always talk about winter is so hard on the bodies because our muscles tense up. And we need those muscles to relax to be able to utilize them properly. So you're gonna be able to get the relief of winter, but also the relief of various injuries. So small sprains and strains. Maybe it's gonna be that pinched nerve because you slept wrong last night. Maybe it's gonna be like me, Callie. I had to get mine out because I fell.
Oh no, what'd you do?
It wasn't a big deal, but I was wearing my fluffy socks and I was reading to my son, to Liam, and I could hear in the kitchen that the chicken noodle soup I was making overflowed. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start a fire. So I went to go get him and I fell on my hip and my ankle. So I ended up icing my ankle. Then I felt frozen all over. So I got my heating pad out and I was laying on the heating pad to keep the rest of me warm while I was icing my ankle.
There's something to be said for ice and hot, or
True, you're supposed to go back and forth.
Yeah, so I mean, there's that. I know it's just such a treat to have it. I mean, sometimes you just like, maybe it's your elbow, maybe you play too much tennis or pickleball, or maybe you were like my friend Andrea, just like building a house and you're constantly just working and your body is taking the toll. Whether it's winter, whether it's summer, it is one of those treats that we can enjoy. And by the way, a couple things I wanted to share with you. A 9-foot cord, so it goes all, I mean, literally, you could be laying on a couch and not have to be right next to the wall to be able to plug it in.
There you go.
9 feet.
It's all corded up right here, but it is 9 full feet.
And then this, you can take off and machine wash.
Yeah, which is exactly what I did here. It just pops right off, and that means that this pad is actually machine washable. I cannot tell you how many people use their Pure Enrichment XXL and keep it on the floor for their animals. So if you have a spill, if you get sweaty, if your animal has an accident, it's nice to know that you can very simply disconnect it and throw it in the washing machine. And then when it comes out, it's still gonna be just as beautiful and just as soft for you to continue using.
Well, you are here for the, I mean, literally final quantities. We've sold close to, I think, 9,000 of these in just a few days. I think 'tis the season because it is cold, we know that, and this is just that instant comfort. It's very therapeutic, it's very soothing, and it's very large. It's extra large. Look at the size of this thing.
What you don't want to have and what you do want to have. Okay, so tell me, if you guys have one of these standard heating pads like what I grew up with, if I tried to put this on me, it's like I'm going to do 20 minutes here, and then 20 minutes later I'm going to move it, and then 20 minutes, and I'm just going to keep going down the leg, right? Or if I'm going to do 20 minutes, I can do it one time, because at 24 inches long, I can get my calf, my knee, and my leg. At 24 inches, I don't just do the top of my back. I don't just do the bottom of my back. I do my entire back. Same with my abdomen. I get this wrapped around my whole abdomen so that I'm getting the most benefit while also being time efficient.
You know what I think is the best idea ever?
What?
Plug it in and then put it at the feet of your bed where your toes go when you first get into bed. Because that's the thing that, you know, your feet are the coldest, I mean, your extremities. Wouldn't that be amazing? And it's like having a heated mattress or a heated blanket waiting for you to get into bed.
But you're not wasting all the heat, right? You only take up so much of the bed. So now you're only heating this up, so you're using less energy than you would if you had an entire blanket or you had an entire heated mattress. This is targeted. This is something that you can truly fold up into basically nothing and take it on vacation with you. Throw it in your suitcase. When you're in that super cold hotel room and your significant other is always hot and you're always cold, now you guys can be in the same level because you can have your Pure Enrichment XXL keeping you warm throughout. And a bonus is the fact this is a closed system. I can actually spray this with essential oils. I can actually get it wet, and that moist heat can go, you know, closer to that bone marrow that you talked about.
No, it's the truth, that moist heat. When I used to see my chiropractor, they'd lay you down on the table and then they'd put those hot pads on you that they've been sitting in water. So moist heat is a wonderful thing, and that's a great point. A lot of the old-fashioned heating pads, the small crispy ones that we were talking about, I mean, you can't, I don't think you could ever wash those.
You can't wash, this is,
they're attached
it's vinyl.
permanently.
It's vinyl. This, I mean, this has like an ugly whatever cover on it, but this is vinyl. This pad itself cannot go in the washing machine. It's connected to the cord. The whole thing would get washed. The whole thing would get ruined. But with this, I can simply disconnect it from here, and now the entire pad is machine washable. Again, there's a reason why there's a 2-hour shutoff button. Number one, for safety, for anyone to make sure they don't get any kind of burn, but also because we all get sweaty after 2 hours. After 2 hours, we're warmed up, we're good, we're ready to fall asleep and stay asleep. So this is gonna shut off for you, but if it does get sweaty, it's nice to know. You just simply throw it in the washing machine.
I tell you what, already now over 9,000 have been spoken for. We are in the final quantities for the season, and this is, by the way, a customer pick. When we started putting this out here earlier this year, it wasn't because it was brand new, and already, the minute people got it, it was like, oh my gosh, that's the best heating pad I've ever had. It really is. It'll be the best heating pad you've ever had. I do want you to, and FlexPay, it's $5.50 to get this delivered. $5.50 on an HSN card, $6.50 with any other major credit card if you prefer, but that's all you pay and you get it delivered. And I think maybe you should send this to somebody that you know is dealing with all the blizzards. And I have a friend, Brittany, in North Dakota. I was talking to her today. She said, it's like a blizzard happening and it's freezing everywhere. The least you could do for yourself is to treat yourself to a few minutes of warmth.
Absolutely.
When you get home from the Arctic Circle.
And what a really thoughtful gift. I've given these out to school teachers a lot because it's such a great way to say, hey, thank you for educating our kids and for making the world a better place. Now take care of yourself this summer. This is the thing. We always sell these heating pads in wintertime when we know it's going to get really cold. But injuries happen all the time. So if you want to make sure that you're ready to go and you're prepared for when that little sprain comes or that pinched nerve, this is such an easy thing to have on hand at all time. We're going to give you the bag. This is a dust-proof bag, so that means you can have it out. You don't have to keep the box. It's always ready to go. And again, it's so nice that it's actually beautiful so that you can have it out ready to go no matter when
and if
you
want to
finally
get
sit
two,
down.
You can get two because you're not going to want to share this.
I know. This is not
really
something you share. I kick my kids off of it all the time. Like, this is mommy's. Get your own.
Yeah. 886-210 is the item number. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Callie.
Good to see you, Megan. I'm very excited about our next item, the inversion table, the teeter, the original, the FDA cleared inversion table, the best table you can